Hello, everyone, and welcome to ZSR. Today we have another Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup race here between Starx and Vinter. I'm starting with me on commentary is Smirk JD. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic today. Thank you so much, Star. How are you?
Doing well. Looking forward to a good match here. This is the second matchup, second race between these two runners in Group G in a double round robin format. Vinter narrowly won their first matchup by a grand sum of about 3 seconds, so this should be an interesting one to see if he can get his revenge.
Yeah, and we were talking about this beforehand, and it's exciting to watch these two runners because of how close together they are in skill level. Their stat screens showing like so many things that are so close together. Best race time only a minute apart, average time only a minute apart, and this, like you said, the first race together in groups were only 3 seconds apart. So, should be really fun to watch.
Yep, Starix from the Keep It Claw runner here, who was in the main tournament last year, had a rough time in qualifiers and is hoping to win this match to move on to brackets. Vinter, I believe, from the German community, I think a bit newer, looking to get his third win of brackets. Starix is currently 3-2. Vinter 2 has only played 2 matches but has won both.
And I think we were talking about this in the race room as well. Vinter won the Challenge Cup for the German Challenge Cup. Is that correct? Or
That's
I
what
think that's
somebody
what.
said. Yes, I'm afraid I don't
Yeah.
follow that community at all, but
So exciting, like both players are just like we should see a lot of like really good quality gaming here today. I'm excited.
we should.
And
Here we're off.
all right. And today's
Oh
mode is Ambrosia,
no!
right?
Yes, it is. Boots are in TR. Well, they're not getting that for a while. Got ourselves Mirror in Link's house. So this is Ambrosia, which is standard sword start. Uncle gives us a hint for the boots, and there are guaranteed to be items, not keys, not maps, and not compasses on the bosses. Should be interesting. No boots, though, not until they get TR access, which will probably take a bit. Alright. Uncle giving us blue mail, nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things from playing so many qualifiers, not getting, any mail upgrades. It's finally great to have them now in these other modes. All right, and one thing that's unique about Ambrosia is, you get to play a standard start. So I kind of like that. It's unique in its own way that you get to do a standard start, and kind of makes me miss some of the last year tournaments and challenge cups.
Yeah. We do in fact have a shiny Dragonair on this Starix's side. Taco in French, as I have had to look up a few times. One of many Pokemon sprites offered by the randomizer. It looks like Venter's got a spaceman of some type. That's definitely a spacesuit. Not sure if that's any specific reference.
Yeah, I'm not
But
sure what
yes.
that's from.
But Starix is playing at the Dragonair sprite. That is a spacesuit of some type for Venter. And in case you're wondering, that is the Octopath Traveler MSU from Starix. That is not an Among Us sprite, I am fairly sure of that.
Yeah, I don't think it's Among Us either.
Also, just to be clear, Starix and I are not the same person.
You're
Which on that note,
commentating, restreaming, and racing at the same time. Way to go.
also, don't forget to follow our two runners here, Starix433 and Vinter, my co-com Smirk, and our tracker, 8 Tom Cerveau. Um, I do quite
It's
like the Octopath Traveler one. It's a popular one in the ALttPR Francophone community, and it's quite a jam.
yeah, it's good. Staruk's using the slash strats here, whereas Vinter using the double pots. And remembering he has that mirror, making this escape time a little faster than you normally see for standard starts.
Couple seconds difference here heading to the back. Actually, that might be fencing garb, come to think of it. That is a possibility.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you pointed out, that might be more like it. It's with the shield and the light clothing.
Yeah. All right, looks like Vinter is searching here for some bomb drops. So far, no bombs, so no way to get to the back of his cake just yet.
I don't think we've seen any bomb drops, no, as a get, well, not bombs out of Dark Cross.
I didn't actually catch the price pack. Did you, Star?
I did not.
Looks like rats have bombs.
Ooh, they might. Yay, there we go for Vinter. Starx has not had any luck on this front so far.
He got one rat bomb.
Okay, there we go. Yep. So one is enough.
One is all you need for the back.
Yep. Vinter has looked like he's picked up 7, which is quite nice. Oh, and there's
I do. Yeah, I do think Starx will might kill some more rats just to get some extra bombs here. Knowing they're in the bomb pack, it's very likely to drop a 4-pack and you're good to go.
Looks like that's what he's doing here, heading through the lower entrance and killing a few of these. Getting there we go. Hey Chaos 6, thank you for the sub.
Hey, 5-minute escape time is the dream.
Definitely assisted by having the mirror as, ooh, that's a hammer.
Wow. All right, so early hammer, early mirror. What do you think this is going to do for them? I guess we'll see in CAC first, right?
Yep. Always nice to get early. That is a decent way of their access to Swamp eventually, as well as that will get them. That hammer is a decent portion of their Dark World access as well.
Yeah. Looks like both of them are opting to skip checking the Lumberjack ledge here.
Yeah. With boots in Turtle Rock, it is entirely possible they won't need that for a good bit, if ever.
Very true. Very true. Was that all 3 crystals in the light world?
Might have been, yeah. Does it get more bombs in the Lost Woods?
Right.
As well as a bow.
Fully stacked at 10 bombs. Bow in hand. I think they're going to be looking at Eastern Palace sooner than later on this one.
I would expect so, honestly. Both runners should at this point. I'd expect them. I know Starx knows Eastern without a fire source. Vinter, I would expect to know as well, so that should not be an issue for either runner. Being a crystal with a bow might as well go cleared. 3 quick items, plus a Hasrula's hut. Only thing might be to perhaps hold off until hoping to find a glove, perhaps, to route Podden with it as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a good efficiency play.
Because they will eventually need Dark World access of some type.
I mean, is there a way?
It could still be Echo, absolutely. But we'll have to see.
And I definitely agree.
Dependent on Desert, actually, per tracker. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tracker, keeping us in check there. And it was a red crystal for Eastern. Okay. But I have to agree with you. This Octopath Traveler MSU is definitely nice.
Well, speaking of fire sources, there's one fire rod in the well.
When the seed gives you all these items early on.
And a bottle is very convenient. Not going to be orphaning sick kid today.
Now we just need the bottle vendor to give us a flute, and Oh,
Sadly, no. But yeah, the Octopath Traveler is a good one. And I do love this MSU. It's one that turns up. I think is one of a few in the ALttPR francophone community who uses this one, and it turns up quite a bit on our raid streams as well. It's pretty fun. They do also have a lot of money here, finding 300 rupees in the chicken hut.
yeah, that's great news for them. You know, the less farming you have to do for potential Zora check, the better.
Absolutely.
Right, 5 hearts and blue mail. I think they're safe going to South Shore and all the way to Ice Red Pool.
No, hey, that's a book. Not especially when they want to see this early. That does give them access to Pendant Desert.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Is this a bait or is it, go there?
I mean, we'll have to see eventually. They do have a fair number of checks to do. That's nothing on the library.
Yeah, I imagine they'll put it off until they have to go there. I mean, with Eastern available now, that's probably going to be more likely.
More money on the race game.
I might have actually grabbed that.
I think they still think says 400 rupees flat. I think Vinter is a slight bit more. 411, yeah. Not too worried, I suspect, from either runner. See a little divergence here. Starx heading South Shore as Vinter is gonna check out the Lake Islands first.
Yeah, this might be followed up into the Eastern Palace play we were talking about earlier.
Yep. And just the heart piece of the Lake Islands, so I won't need to worry about that.
Comes everywhere.
Yep. Green pendant in ice today, alright. Azra's Hut. More money, a heart container, and more money.
All right. Not much there.
Nope.
I do like this play by Starx, though, going into Mini Moldern Cave first. I like to do the thorough South Shore checks before going into Crystal Eastern. Um,
Ooh, and that's paying out with that glove here.
yeah. And even if Starx decides to go, the back end or like into Eastern before checking Saha, you save a little time that way as well. So
Yep. Now, Moonpearl away from being able to combine Easter and Pod there.
that's very true too.
That is also that we are also now a Moonpearl away from Dark World access. The same note. And there's the big key for Vinter.
Right. Ice Rod Cave. The long walk rewards us with that Moon Pearl. Wow, Star. I think you called it into existence.
I think so as well, and completely missed the map chest there of Easter.
I did too. I did too. We're too excited about that Moon Pearl.
So this is going to be Hype Cave and Dupod Eastern, I expect, for Stuff Leaks.
Almost certainly. Yeah, that was.
And indeed, because Pod is a crystal, Thieves are last pendant. I totally missed where our last red crystal
Yeah, I
is.
missed the other red crystal.
Compass, thank you. And this was a red rupee for Vinter here in the compass chest.
So he will likely go through to the big key chest. Well, unless he finds an item here, right? Because 2 items for Ambrosia is enough for.
Yeah, nope.
There's an item in the back.
Yes, there is.
He's skipping it anyway?
Interesting, perhaps not wanting to go out of logic.
Yeah, that's fair.
Starx nearly fought for getting Hype Cave and then doubling back to get his cape, some flippers, and a shield.
Wow, so Starx could potentially check Hoba on his way to pod here.
Going to also check Pyramid Ledge, which makes sense.
Especially depending on where that other red crystal is. This could be a long time before you ever want to come back here, so good to get it out of the way.
Looking at Starx's personal tracker, the other red crystal is on TR. Yeah, they're not doing that for a while.
Yeah. That said, knowing that the boots are in TR, if you find, that early TR access, it may be something you want to rush.
It might be just a green rupee off Harmless Knights for Vinter.
So Eastern basically not having anything. Oh, except for the potential skipped item.
Except for the big key chest, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if Vinter goes back in. Nope. And I think for Starx at least, it was not going to go for up to Catfish Zora because does not have enough money to afford Zora and Kiki today right now. So that would be a bit of an ouch if he had tried doing that.
And this play here that he's making right now with the Pot Eastern combo is just they're both crystals, they're both things you have to clear anyway. You're almost certainly not going to have the boots by then, so there's no faster time to do it than now. And you could potentially find some really good items. And I mean, that's what Saha has three in Eastern and 5 in Pod. That's 11 items over here.
Yep, it's quite a bit. Eastern versus Eastern Pod. The backtrack to Pod takes a good minute or two, probably, especially if you don't have a flute.
Or boots, yeah, exactly.
And that's where I was discussing earlier too. When the bow first turned up, it's like, do you want to rush Eastern immediately, or do you hope that since you already have a mirror and hammer, that your glove and moon pearl turn up first? And we got both.
It definitely paid off here, but the only thing that I wonder is because Desert is full clearable, it's a pennant, you got the early book access to it. I definitely feel like something's there. I know I'm the type of person that would go to it, but with so much else available in terms of crystals, like when do you go back there?
Probably not for a while. I might depend on where when the flute shows up.
Well, yeah, and I mean, they found the flippers as well, so there's so much else to check at this point.
Yep. Very nice mimics for Starx. Vinter now going to do probably much the same route as Starx, heading for Pod, I'd expect. And then afterwards, Village of Outcasts, Steve's Skull Wood looks to be a good play here. Full clearable, 2 crystal dungeons. Quite a lot of checks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also got a bug net in Pod here. And don't forget that this is a very interesting matchup. These two, this is their second race against each other in double round robin, and Vinter beat Starx by 3 seconds last race. So Starx here is currently at 3-2. This is Vinter's third race, and he won both of the first 2. So it should be really interesting to see. Starx really wants to win this one to get himself in a good position for brackets. If he goes 3-3, that's going to put him in a rough spot, and he'll have to hope for a tiebreaker. Vinter also would very much like a third win.
Okay, so far we've just found the bug net here. Vinter looks to be going straight to pod, not doing the pyramid ledge check first. So
Probably realizing the his opponent very well might be in here already with the placement of that glove and moon pearl being so close. Right after he did Eastern does always feel a little bad.
yeah, I would assume he would be thinking, oh, if my opponent did South Shore first, almost certainly got to combo these two together. Let's go ahead and rush there.
Pretty much, and yeah, we are actually not missing a lot. We need the hook shot, the ace rod, the flute, and at least one medallion for Go mode today. As well as that
the
king.
Yeah.
Should we? We'll have to see. There's our last two keys in the U room. Also collecting some more money.
And so far, we've only found one item in pod, being the bug net.
I think so. Keys, more keys, and the bug net.
Yeah.
And $50.
And $50, all right.
This is going to be a hammer yum for Starx.
Nice.
And there's the compass. So I think there will be 2 items in the maze and the last on Helmasaur.
Yeah, I think so.
Not the friendliest of item layouts in
Right.
pod.
Thanks, pod. And
Really
this dark maze is out of logic, but you don't leave it, right? You're planning on never coming back to this area. Like you get it now. Like there's no way to skip. But considering that Vinter skipped the right side of Eastern, I wonder if he'll opt to skip the dark maze. I mean,
we'll have to see, because that was absolutely nothing in there.
yeah.
Because Vinter knows that there's a good chance that Starx did South Shore before Pod Eastern. He can't know for sure, but it is a common routing divergence, and if Starx chose to do that, which he did, Vinter knows he's a little bit behind in efficiency, since he found absolutely nothing of interest in Eastern.
I'm curious, because I feel like Starx is going to check that big key in Eastern. I'm curious to what's there.
So am I. We know it is an item. No idea what, but it is an item of some type. And if that's something like the king, that could hurt Vinter quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel like, let's say Vinter full clears pod. This is basically his last chance to go back there early. Otherwise, I feel like that's a last location for him.
It's pretty much a remote, completely isolated check otherwise, yes.
Yeah. I mean, even now, it's like a painful check to go back to.
It is.
But
it takes a while to walk
it
through
does.
Eastern.
It really does. And like you said, he may be feeling behind, so I feel like he's going to be more inclined to keep it skipped,
Mm-hmm. Out in the dark is always a little finicky, but having the fire rod definitely helps. Pretty nice turtles here.
All right, and Starx makes it to Almasaur, doing your standard 17 hammer hits to the mask.
Yep, and oh man, I do love this boss theme.
Yeah. Sticking to hammer hits for post mask. These are definitely very hard to hit from that direction, but he's getting them.
Yeah.
Which is over to the bow to finish it off, and down goes Almasaur.
There we go. That'll be his first crystal.
Just 10 arrows.
Turning up a bug net as the most interesting item, which is really
Yeah.
not saying much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's two crystal dungeons so far that had pretty much nothing, unless that big key chest in Eastern does have something. This would make me feel like, okay, crystal dungeons aren't the way to go. Let's do overworld independence. Not saying that's the right thing to do, but
Well, they should. I do expect them to go to Village of Outcasts and at least Skullwoods. I mentioned Thieves Town, so I realize that's a pendant, so they may want to put that off till later. Perhaps
yeah.
we'll see.
All right, so each player right now kind of going over each other's footsteps here. Um, I think the only extra check that Sahix has done that Vinter has not is the Pyramid Ledge check.
Correct, which is pretty much why Vinter will get out of Pod a little before Starx gets out of Eastern.
Yeah, most likely. And, also considering the fact that Vinter skipped that right side, the big key chest.
Yeah, which I think Starx will likely do, because he isn't coming back here. It's a little bit of a trip to check, but it's also guaranteed an item. You're not coming back.
It's definitely a risky skip.
It is. I can see it going both ways. Like, I understand I Vinter skipped it, but you never know when that comes back to bite you down the line.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, skipping it if it's nothing saves you, what, a good minute or so, minute and a half. But, like, if something is there that's required, that is almost certainly a loss.
Oh, absolutely. And we see that Starx is going for it.
It's like Vinter is opting for full arrows here for Helmasaur, and down goes Helmasaur for Vinter. That will be crystal number 2 for him.
Yep. We'll see where he chooses to go next.
Now, I didn't actually catch. Did Vinter do the Dark Maze?
I am not entirely sure, I'll be honest with you.
I kind of missed it.
And then he... Oh. Where is he going? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, he did. Thanks for confirming. Vinter did do the Dark Maze, and nothing there in the Vicky chest for Starx.
But, this is definitely still peace of mind for Starx. It's like he knows that he'll never have to come back to this area, green pennant excluding, but like he will never have to dip back into Eastern worried about if this is an item or not. Whereas, Vinter, it's going to be in the back of his mind probably. Like if they're an item away, like where do you go first? Do you go back to clear this? Do you just leave it?
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Vinter, as expected, heading for the village area now. You do need to go in from the top, but you don't have mitts. Can also do a pedestal check here if he wants.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Here. That is crystal number 2.
We'll see what decides to do now.
He is choosing to walk out, going to perhaps to Catfish Zora area?
Yeah, I
Does
think
have those
so.
flippers.
Yeah, it looks like, and that's something that it looked like Vinter was debating about doing. You saw that save and quit
Hmm.
come up, but then you saw him cancel it. So it
Here
looks like
discussing how
Starx. Go
the
ahead.
dungeons haven't paid out much, so doing some overall checks first here for Starx's side.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Stax's strategy here seems to be a little bit more on the thorough side, whereas Vinter seems to be more on the skips risky side.
Hmm.
So
And you're finding just a compass in the bridge chest here of Skullwoods.
yeah, and this catfish play sends Stahix over to Waterfall Ferry and Zora Ledge. With those flippers there, it's all available. It's a lot of items.
It is. Catfish not paying out today. But yeah, Statix does have plenty of money for Zora. I got 692 right now.
We're looking at a hammer fight Mothula here from Vinter's side. Blue Mail does help a little.
Waterfall Fairy giving us bombos today.
Not necessarily required for Ice Palace since the Fire Rod is there, but could be required for either Mire or Turtle Rock.
Yep. Always nice to find, at least. There's another bottle on Zora Ledge. Don't particularly need that. That is crystal number 3 for Vinter.
And Mothula just had a red 20, right?
So yeah.
Yeah. So should be one more item somewhere in the front of Skull.
Does choose to not raid the pedestal. A bit of a walk for something that very well may not be required. Kings are as silly as a shovel today. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
That's an interesting item to find.
Yep. We have yet to see if that is going to be required or not. But fortunately for Stahix, he hasn't done Stumpy area yet in the Dark World, and he has that mirror, so he can easily just mirror while he's checking Stumpy and do the shovel check.
Oh yeah, it's very much a matter of efficiency there, as we get a small key for Vinter. This will be Hobo and Hobo, I expect, next for Stahix.
Oh, right. And I think Star 7 hasn't seen Hylia Island just yet, so
No.
getting that check in there, going to the man under the bridge, and that should clear out the flippers checks for him.
Yep. Pretty. Takes a little bit, but efficiently routes them all together, which is nice.
Yeah. And you are correct, Duden, too, in chat. Vinter did not do a pet check while he was there, so we do not know what's there.
Nope. Hobo is more nothing for Starix.
And if you look at what we have in terms of pad, I mean, Desert, Thieves Town, and Ice Palace. I mean, Ice Palace is behind the mitts at the very least. If not, like a hook shot or something as well. Uh, Theoretically could have, a Cane of Samaria or a flute
Ice
on
Rod.
pedestal. Ice Rod is always a thing. Any of the medallions, yeah. So there's definitely a lot of items that could be on the pedestal.
Yep. It is definitely a play from Vinter. We'll see if what choice Starix makes regarding that.
Yeah, it's like we both talked about, like these are both very good runners. It just seems like Vinter is definitely taking the more risky gambly path, at least for this particular game.
Yep. Graveyard Legend Bumper Cave both having just more money for these guys. They will not be doing King's Tomb anytime soon, because those boots are sitting in Turtle Rock.
Now, I have a question for you, Star. Do you think that the boots are locking anything that's required?
It's unlikely with them being in TR locked
Right.
behind what's honestly most of their go mode.
Mhm.
But you never know. It could have the hookshot, or that GT Big Key could be on the torch. Oh, I realize I should update the layout. I forgot to do that. It's Ambrosia today.
Okay, looks like Venter is doing the catfish check as well, so probably going to follow up into those flippers checks here, while Stahix is going into Skull Woods. So kind of high-fiving each other there a little bit.
Yep. For their go mode list, they do also need a second sword if we're gonna be technical.
Yeah,
One shows
yeah,
up
that's
somewhere on the way, but they do need one.
very good point. Like you never like really worry about the swords until you're closer to go mode because you just assume you're going to get them. But I've definitely seen many races where that sword became a deal.
Oh, indeed. Here is a pen check for Starx. And the news is a blue goo bottle. Alright,
Blue
not
goo in a
required.
bottle. All right, so far Vinter is safe in pretty much all of his skips so far. The Eastern Palace Big Key Chess had nothing, and Pad had nothing. So
We'll see. They think the Eastern Big Key skip, and then versus the time loss on coming back for Pod, while Starx did Pod East in one trip. I think those two largely netted out to be about a net zero at least.
right, but then you
Still pretty
also
close.
have Starhix who went to Pyramid Ledge as well. That was another thing Vinter skipped. So
That is true.
uh,
So it's a
that
little
could
bit of a
explain.
difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Now that the flippers have turned up, Swamp is Swamp may be an idea to dip, though they don't have a hookshot to finish it. They're running out of crystal dungeons to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, you can enter Swamp Palace. I mean, Zora, or not Zora, sorry, Hera is accessible. It's not in Logic just yet, but you can sequence break the mountain. Um, the mirror gets you up to Hera, the hammer gets you to Paradox Cave. So I suspect that would be a play before dipping into something like Swamp Palace.
Swamp Desert or Thieves are their alternate options. Two pendants in a dungeon they can't finish.
Right.
Some artful dodging from Starx, netting a pretty nice moth fight on Fighter Sword.
Yeah, very nicely done. Oh, I guess Vinter never did the dam either. So here's that.
No, he didn't. I honestly forgot about
I
that.
forgot that he went straight to Mini Moldorm Cave.
It is an easy one to miss.
Yeah. But this might mean he'll take this over to the desert area afterwards.
He might, because he did not use the mirror to get here, so this is not a swamp play. Or not, okay.
No, I'm just lying.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe he just remembered. He's like, oh, I can actually check Bombo's tablet on the way over there.
That is true. I forgot that the tablets are available to be checked. Can't be
Yeah.
picked up due to a lack of a second sword, but they can be checked.
Yeah, this looks like what that is. I'm still surprised nobody went for the stumpy shovel check. I mean, you get that shovel and it's like super suspicious.
Yeah, it is. None of them have checked the village just yet, though it looks like Starx might be going in that direction. Nope. Oh, there's where the ice rod went.
Oh, ice rod on Bombo's tablet.
Well,
Wow. Okay. So need another sword for that.
yes, we do. Speaking of another sword, well, here's a lumberjack ledge check for Starx, which they do have the cape for, although boots are somewhere stuck in TR.
Yeah. So we're gonna need a sword before we can full clear TR at least.
And that's just a red rupee there on the ledge. This will be a K45 to Stumpy check now for Vinter. Yeah, that is good information. Desert becomes less appealing, if anything, knowing that the boots are really not showing up anytime fast.
Right, right. I like what I'm most worried about is something being on Landmo and something being on Desert Ledge. Because the book, it kind of locks that Desert Ledge as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Stumpy
it's one of
giving
those
us a
things.
single error.
Yeah, yeah, just a single arrow. It's one of those things though, like when you know that Meyer is a crystal, you really hope to find that flute first.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a sword there from the shovel?
I think that was, yeah, so that answers that, I guess.
Okay, all right. Well, now that ice rod's available, not sure he'll rush back to it, but
I'll leave that for a bit later, but yeah.
I think if you go back there though to get that ice rod, I think you gotta like check out at least Desert Ledge, right?
It's otherwise too much of a trip for just one thing right now, because the ice rod does nothing without Samaria and Mitts.
Very true, very true.
Red Meringue on the digging game, and yeah, Zora actually being a good deal today. I would pay
Yeah,
500 rupees to get a sword.
absolutely. It's an expensive sword, but it's still worth.
Beats his usual negative 96% return or worse. The funniest is when he's a negative 99.8% return and gives you all of 1 rupee. And it's really a case of thanks, Zora. Thanks. Worst deal in the world.
All right, we are getting to see the Village of Outcasts area here by Starx. Something we didn't see from Vinter's side. Looks like he did go back to that Bombos tablet, so we may see a desert play here.
We might. We also got bottle percent there in the village.
All right,
Just
Ice Rod is
getting
secured.
us. Nope.
Just 10
Yeah, this will.
arrows.
Yeah. And here's a key now for Vinter.
So, being Ambrosia, we know that Thieves' Town can only have up to 3 items that are not on the boss. We'll see what happens here.
And Vinter
No,
is
we
not going
did.
to walk the desert
What?
ledge. Okay.
Why? You're there.
Item number 1 in Thieves. First chest was the compass. Second was a heart container. Now they're mentioning Vinter and taking these skipping the longer out of the way checks might pay off. Might not. Is
It's
going to. It
risky.
looks like a mountain climb here.
Yeah, Akuhish has it right in chat. Like, if you're already gonna spend that time to walk all the way from Dig Game to go back to the Ice Rod, just check the desert ledge. Like, you're right there. But I do like this mountain play. I think that's where a lot of progression is gonna be.
Yeah, just a map compass biggie and a heart container in the front of Thieves. Ouch.
Yeah, that's rough. I will
Thankfully, they are
say,
4 pretty quick checks. There's the hook shot.
all right. And that is full swamp access for Stahix.
It is. That also confirms that the boots cannot lock access to much of anything since our combo items are the cane and possibly a medallion at this point.
Yeah, yeah. I think the flute is like the only thing, or a medallion, right?
Pretty much.
That said, if Statix follows this path all the way down to the Bombos tablet, he will also be getting his Ice Rod by the end because he has the shovel as well. So
Yep. That is red mail
Wait,
in Spectacle Rock.
okay, I'm glad you saw that. I saw something red. I was like, what? What is it?
It took me a second. Vinter had to double back, but doesn't feel like he needs it. Has 7 cards in blue mail. Decides, screw it.
Okay. So now that I think about it, like it could just be a land over in desert area, and I guess if you're comfortable with your dark rooms, that's not really required. So it could be a pretty valid skip, if that's what they're thinking.
300 bucks on the Ether tablet, and this is going to be a hair play for Vinter.
Yeah, that's a good point from Akuhish in chat as well. Like having that hook shot before going up to the mountain, it feels better. But I do think that the play for Stahik's here is to go for Swamp Palace at some point before heading up there. And who knows, maybe the mitts are just there in Swamp Palace and he can full clear both Dark Mountain and Light.
Very possible. He does want to. I mean, he is here in the area, going to pick up Ice Rod first, of course, it looks like. But he will get Ice Rod. I expect he'll do Swamp. He's pretty much here already. He doesn't. There's 5 items? 6? I forget. In Swamp.
Yeah, 6 in Swamp.
6 items in Swamp? You might as well do it before TR. I might have the mitts, might have the flute for that matter, might have another medallion.
I mean, with 6 items in Swamp Palace, potentially you could have every single remaining item you need for Go mode here. Like,
it's possible.
Except for the boots.
Except for the boots, but you know that those are in TR.
We know where those are, yeah.
Note as well, Vinter did find a red rupee in the Hera big chest, so no need for the basement today.
Right? Yeah, with that other item being guaranteed on Shoulder Arm, which we are about to see here shortly. Venture using Master Sword spins for Shoulder Arm. 3 of these, and it's enough, and down it goes.
Nicely done. And Shoulder Arm rewarding us with 3 bombs. Our dungeons have been useless.
That's 4 crystal dungeons so far with nothing at all in them.
Nothing at all. The bug net was the genuine most interesting thing.
And honestly, the pendants we've checked, which is only the front of these, didn't have anything either. So it's just this seed just doesn't like dungeons. Everything's overworld today.
Even though it's Ambrosia with 1 item guaranteed on every boss. I gotta love the game sometimes. There's another 300 rupees on Spectacle Rock. Pearl Cave here just feels slow without boots every time.
Yeah. But it's one of those things, you're probably not going to be doing this with boots on this seed, knowing where those boots are, so your opponent won't have that advantage on you at least.
Yeah, we do know that TR has boots in it, though how much use they'll be is going to be dependent on when we actually get TR access, because that very well is looking like our Go mode and they're this week.
I mean, we're Canis and Maria and a mitts away from TR access, and Stuff behind TR could easily be the flute or a medallion from Meyer.
That is true. All right, compass there in that wraparound chest in swamp. So Starix is going to go left side. Knows there will be at least something here.
Yeah, there's got to be at least one item there.
Looks like Quake turned up in Paradox for Vinter. And nothing else.
Nothing else. Wow. Okay, so where are these items hiding?
Nowhere obvious, apparently. We have been discussing Desert on and off for a while.
That's true. That's true.
And there are 3 items in the back of Thieves.
Yep. I feel like Ambrosia makes Green Pendant a little more attractive just because it's like guaranteed 2 items on the boss of whatever dungeon it is, which in this case is ice.
We have not seen Spike Cave. Vinter chose to skip it earlier. Starix has not been to the mountain yet.
Alright, it looks like Venture's headed over to the Village of Outcast area, so going to be finding that hookshot here soon. At least, I assume.
I would really be worried if he didn't. Left side swamp giving absolutely nothing.
Well, there was the big key. We can still be bailed out by the big chest.
That is true.
I'm
Yeah,
always just hopeful. I'm hopeful.
and this is a backtrack for Penn now for Vinter, having found nothing on the mountain.
Yeah, starting to get concerned.
Yeah, starting to lose some time here. Got some early time over stuff leaks by doing some skips, so it is having to backtrack on some of those now. Has already made 2 trips to the Bombos tablet and will need to make a 3rd down there for Swamp at minimum.
Yep.
Backtracking for the village, backtracking for Ped. It's starting to level out a bit.
Yeah, definitely starting to see, like, oh no, maybe I missed something. I could imagine that Eastern Palace big heat chest might be a growing concern for him at this point, like not finding anything.
Because he knows he's starting to run a little low on checks. Bomb diver down, always a little finicky, but nice second try for Starix.
I'm curious though, if he goes into Thieves Town first before checking the bombable hut, I wonder if he'll full clear it. Because for him it'll be 3 items in the back versus the 1 in bombable hut. Oh,
okay, there's the flute.
Flute in Swamp. So that is our current logical mountain axis.
Yes, it is. That is also, unfortunately, not yet Meyer area access. They still don't have the mitts.
I'm still thinking the mitts are just there in Desert Palace, and they could have had it all along.
It's very possible they did get that book very early. Vinter thinking about Thieves Town, standing in front, and decides, maybe not.
Wow, he didn't even go into the front, did he? Okay.
No, he took one look at. He walked over to the entrance, paused, and then decided, no, I'm gonna save it.
Alright, looks like Venture's gonna be going into Swamp here, following in Starx's footsteps.
Very nice second phase there.
Yeah, very nicely done. I always forget that you need 3. Mitts and oh my gosh. Okay, so flute and mitts in Swamp Palace. That gives us access to the Mire area. That gives us all of Hookshot Cave, like Dark Death Mountain.
That is good for Starix. Is going to head straight for activating that flute now, I expect.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
I need to activate that flute, head over to the Mire area, check Mire, checkerboard, desert ledge probably, and see what the medallion is. Still doesn't have a cane to finish Mire, though it could be the one item in the front.
And I suspect when he goes to the Mire area, we'll finally get to see a little taste of the desert. See if there was anything there after all.
Indeed.
So good for both of them avoiding the area because you always want to wait to go there until after having the flute mitts if it's possible. Flute mitts and mirror, that is. And yeah, Magnohata in chat. Yeah, the way that Vinter's been playing, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he skipped left side as well. And if he does, even if he is thinking at the time, oh, I'll wait and see what I find in the back before checking it. After finding the flute in the midst, I don't think he would go back in.
I doubt it. And actually, Starx is going to save the old man first. Interesting.
Oh, did Vinter skip this?
I don't remember if Vinter did this.
Oh wait, no, he had to have because he couldn't get there with the flute.
Oh,
he had to have gone.
Yeah, this.
Yeah. So
mostly, I was commenting that Starx is doing this before the Mire area.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot up here. I mean, we have both Dark Mountain and Light Mountain here.
Mm-hmm. And he wants that cane, probably.
Yeah, you want to have the cane before heading over to Mire area. You can get the medallion information here for Turtle Rock.
Oh, that's where Quake was. I thought it was Paradox, but I apparently just got utterly confused. It was in the Old Man, so...
Yeah, that's where it was. And, something for Starx here is if he does find the Cane of Samaria, and one of the medallions they already have is the entry for TR, I imagine he'd go right in. I mean, we know the boots are in there. It's a pursuit you got to clear, and with the cane you can. So
it's honestly not a bad idea, really. Especially,
it's a good play.
I mean, you're already up here without 6 crystals. You're going to have to come back one way or the other for GT. It doesn't. If you can do TR this trip, may as well.
Yeah. I fully agree. And I mean, on top of the boots, there could be another item there. Wait, are we just Samaria from Goa, actually?
Maria pending Ether, yes.
Pending Ether, that's right. Okay.
Logically, we're supposed to find a lamp, but these two really don't care.
Yeah. I still don't even know where the lamp should be because, we had early Dark World access. The flute wasn't locked behind the lamp, so that means anything in the mountain is fair game.
It is. Pod is the only thing that's actually lamp locked, and it had absolutely nothing as previously discussed.
Yeah, so yeah, all of the progression has been free of lamp requirements, so
they don't care. And, Starx is going to lose some time here, going for tile for the basement of Hera here.
Oh no. Did he not get the big key already?
He did. Especially in Ambrosia, when there's a very good chance your second item's just on those 2 middle chests. This is a bit of a time loss.
Yeah.
You will be able to at least do a Hera pot, which will save a bit of time, but this is a time loss, straight up.
Yeah, the Hera pot does save a little time, but I think, the tile room here adds up to more than that.
Yeah, it does.
Alright, we have Vinter walking back to activate flute, I think, instead of saving the flute.
Looks like it.
Is this faster? Like, just walk this way and mirror?
I have no idea. It's doing Smith Chain with it, is the thing.
Ah, okay.
Starx?
Oh, you know what? This is definitely a bathroom break. That's why
I was wondering it.
It's gotta be, right?
Makes sense, because I was like, why is he still on the blocks there?
Now we all know. This was an intentional play to get a bathroom break in there.
Fair enough.
Hey, when you
Sometimes
gotta
nature
go, you gotta
calls.
go.
All right, Smiths for Vinter.
Now, let's just hope it doesn't come down to like a 1 minute time difference on loss, so we can, we don't want to say at the end, like, you just should have held it.
Yeah.
All right, nice lineup there with the hair pot. Oh, it
No,
looked accurate.
didn't get it though, so it's gonna just do it the normal way. More time losses here, unfortunately, for Starx. That feels bad.
I know that I definitely like with all the skips that Vinter has done, I definitely would have been skipping this hammer pegs and Smith stuff. Without those boots, I'm like, nah, we need just the Canis Mario. Like, let's find that, go to TR, get our boots before ever coming to check this. But and again, Canis Mario is the go mode, so potentially.
Yeah. Let's get the bomb jump and the red rupee. Confirming that, yeah, the embarrassment was very much not needed. Half magic showing up for Vinter on hammer pegs. Nice to have.
Yeah, it's something nice. Especially if they don't find another sword, being on Master Sword Trinex, it's just not fun to fight that guy.
No, and Vinter is going to do the front of thieves now. Ditching a purple chest outside. And on that, happy 1 hour, everyone.
Oh, we made it!
Shoutouts to our two runners here. Give them both a follow. Stathleaguestar33 and Vinter. To my co-com Smirk JD and Short Track, your H-Tom Sif Bo here. Thanks all for the volunteering.
And thank you, Star, for restreaming and calming today, getting this race going and this restream going for these two runners.
Absolutely. I know this one for Eastern is a bit of an awkward time for a restream. A little late for EU, a little early for NA, but glad we got one together.
Vinter's got his mirror out, just doing the front four. Probably going to grab that chest, mirror, activate the flute, turn in the chest. Definitely demonstrating, Vinter knows that like the efficiency plays. He knows how to be efficient, that those earlier skips were indeed very intentional.
Yep. Because this is some excellent efficiency here from Vinter.
I am excited to see what is on Dark Death Mountain.
So am I. It's gonna be interesting if Starx finds the that Samaria here, because that can make a pretty good big difference in this race.
Absolutely, yeah. For like wherever that Samaria is, I mean, this is just there's so many places it could still be, but wherever it is, whoever finds it first has basically got a huge lead.
Absolutely, and so we're gonna finally see the Mire area for Vinter. Like he's going to
Another
get
area we want to
Paradox
see.
first. I really want to know what this medallion is for Mire.
Me too.
And that's Bombus. Alright, so they can get in if they want. Vanilla Cane, anyone?
My biggest concern for both of these runners is if Canis Mario is somewhere super trolly, like inside Ice Palace. Like, nobody at this point wants to go to Ice Palace. Like, you're one item away, like...
Oh yeah, Ice would suck at this point for both runners.
Yeah. Like, I'd rather go into Mire than check Ice Palace.
It's such an out-of-the-way place, and it's slow.
It is. But the problem with Mire is the front of Mire only has one item, and it's a long dungeon to gamble on one item.
Yep. And it looks like Vinter is reclimbing the mountain now, having discovered that Meyer is that his cane is not in the Meyer area.
Yeah, so
Super buddy.
they're, despite the differences in skips and efficiencies that both players have gone through, they're pretty much neck and neck at this point. Starx is just a little bit ahead in terms of the dark mountain climb, with Vinter just having checked the Mire area in addition before going there.
And
So
and if the cane is here, Starx can skip the Meyer area.
yeah, very true.
Though, of course, that assumes that TR is not either.
Right, yeah, that's also.
Oh, that's where the lamp's been
There
hiding.
it is. So it was hidden behind Swamp Palace. Okay, but that's not a Canis Maria. So the only thing left up here to do is maybe check the Medallion entry and Spike Cave.
And it
Everything
is
else has been
Bombos.
checked.
So yeah, Spike Cave is the final check on the mountain. That's where Starx is going right now. Vinter going to open up the portal. Open up the door. Can't do a single thing in there until they, well, hit go mode now. Confirmed.
Yeah, good point. Kane is go mode now officially. We do not make that Ether Medallion.
Nope. Because even if that boss key is on the torch, they know where the boots are.
Yeah. Spike Cave has just 5 rupees.
It's not that.
So where do you go now? I think Starx might still go check Mire area.
I think you have to for him.
Yeah,
Like,
that
very
medallion
well
info is important.
And the cane very well could just be there. I wonder
It
if he's
could.
gonna go do desert at this point, because he's
I think
gotten to a point where it's not a terrible idea, question mark?
No, I mean, I think it would be a great idea. Like, I mean, the things he has left are, Bootsless Smiths and
Pendant.
Ice Palace. So,
Yeah, they have ice, which is up to 4 items, though it could be cane locked. They have Bootsless Desert of quality, and Back of Thieves with 3 items. Their options
Checkerboard
really
Cave.
aren't fun.
Yeah. I mean, like Desert isn't too bad. I mean, you have the flute, you have the mirror. Like, it's quick to get to.
It is. And Lakes is literally right here already. I think this is
Right.
a logical play to at least take a look in here.
Yeah, he might even check the Agina here. Nope. Okay, going back to Desert. Because I don't think they even stopped to take a look at Desert Ledge.
Neither of them have. Vinter did check Agina, but bailed out of Desert Ledge, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
All
right,
we're
here it
actually
is.
gonna see it now. And nope.
Just a piece of art. So do you clear the boss first, or do you go check the front? Well, you have to check the front for the big key. Never mind.
Yeah, you do. And Vinter buying a blue potion here.
You think this is an Ice Palace?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, fluting to 8. Okay.
And okay, right side desert is boots locked. Good info. And that is a compass, so that's that.
Desert is fully boots locked. Okay.
They don't need to continue. Can't continue, in fact. This will be a Gina, I expect, for Starx.
Oh, is this a Mire dip?
It might be a Meyer dip. I mean, you're here.
Oh.
It's.
Alright,
It
so
is
I
a
mean.
choice.
I mean, but like considering all the items, locations we've seen, like it's got to be either in Ice Palace or here in Mire, right? Like they've checked everything
Or Back
else.
of Thieves.
Or Back of Thieves. You're right. Okay.
There's tempered in the Penketer room of ice. That's good for Vinter. Even if nothing else shows up here, that is a good thing to have.
Definitely. Especially since there's no silvers yet. Like,
neither is a bad play. Like, you will at the very minimum need the big key out of Meyer at some point eventually.
yeah,
And
so
Vanilla Cane's not super common, but it's not unheard of either. I think the first ALttPR seed I ever saw was a Vanilla Cane, in fact.
well, there you go. I wonder how common it is in Ambrosia with there only being one item in the front, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody's done statistics on that. But still, like you said, I think it's a good play. It's very logical. Like you have to find the big key here anyway. You have to open the dungeon anyway. Those things are going to take time no matter what. So, floating back here doesn't take too long. The only real addition is like, you have to do the Meyer 2 room twice.
And interesting point from Chad. Apparently in Ambrosia, Ice Palace can't be cane locked. My knowledge of Ice Palace key logic is atrocious, so I don't know, but good info.
I did not. Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Because the only way Ice Palace is cane locked is if there's a small key on Cold Stare. But in Ambrosia, it has to be an item, so it can't be. Okay. So Ice Palace cannot be cane locked. Interesting.
No, yeah, Cold Stare could have it. The green pendant could have then, yeah.
Wait, it can't be cane locked, but I don't know if Cold Stare can actually have it though, right? No. Yeah. Cold Stare can have it.
Zelda needs to not die here, as I say that low.
Well, he got that fairy. I think he has a fairy, yeah.
Oh, good. I think he got a fairy bottle someplace. Good, because I was like, because that would have been such an ouch to die there.
Yeah, you don't want to die here.
On the way to cutscene chest, that would have been a rough death. I forgot to count items here in Mr. Vinter, beyond I know we saw Tempered already, and that's a map.
I think he's only found the one item so far. I think it's a big key map, maybe even already the compass. So he's just missing small keys, compasses, the other item, and then the boss item.
Vanilla big key for Starx.
See if the big chest and the map chest have Mario. I mean, there's always the potential of like a fetch quest item too, right? Like powder, or mushroom or something that like further unlocks Mario away.
A fetch quest would be dumb. Well, that's a small key. And a small key for Vinter.
Looks like Vinter is headed here to Ice Tea Room.
Yet another small key.
Alright, big chest is the last chance. But yeah, that's a good point, Magnohado. It's a Samaria hunt, and there's so many locations left that it just feels like whoever gets it first,
is gonna take it, because that is just $50 in the big chest of Meyer.
Ice Palace is so far a bust as well.
Yep. We do know it is helpful to Starx that big key was in cutscene chest, so it's one of the later checks. So it'll take Vinter a little time to get there instead of it being like the bridge chest, for instance.
Right, yeah. It could have been like the other way around, like a Godmire with, the item in the cutscene chest. And, if that were the case, then, when Vinter gets there, he would have been able to skip that cutscene. But in this case, he's going to have to go to cutscene anyway.
Yep. Alright. Where do you go now, Starx? And this is back to Thieves.
This is, yeah, either Back of Thieves or Smith Chain, right?
Yeah,
Or maybe
as
both.
probably both in some order, as that's just $20 off Gold Stare. That is not it, but the green pendant might be.
Still lit, yeah. I'm sure he'll check that first before deciding to go elsewhere, but
Mhm.
he's going in.
Back of Desert is A, not in logic with a small key on the torch, because he could take the key from the back and use it in the front instead, and B, the big key is on the right side behind that key on the torch. They're not going back there. Period.
Yeah. In terms of items with the mirror and the flute, yes, you can go there, but yeah, it's definitely not in logic and it's completely blue spot. So, all right. Oh, so Ice Palace Green Pendant was not the answer. We see Vinter dropping bombs there on Saha in
I would
protest.
be I would be mad too after sinking a good
Yeah.
couple of minutes into Ice Palace, and I think this is
Okay.
Meyer Desert for Vinter.
Yeah, it might be.
It's a
So
logical
if
play at this point. Look for that big key, and then you're here already for Desert. It makes sense. Unfortunately, we know this is not the play.
yeah, and based on the knowledge we have from the game so far, I mean, it looks like Starx is going to the correct location. I'm trying to think of what we have left.
Uh, I think this genuinely is it. We
Yeah,
know it's not the pedestal. That is confirmed to be our final bottle, so...
right. And yeah, I mean,
Ice was a good play from Vinter. 3 checks in there, 4th on Green Pendant, guaranteed not cane locked with it being Ambrosia. Just one of the
yeah, no, I
denser plays,
agree.
just not it today, and
It's not the
that's
answer.
how it goes.
So yeah, and then in Starx's perspective, you have Back of Thieves and Smith Chain, and for Venture's perspective, you have now Meyer Desert and that big key chest in Eastern.
It's gotta be on his mind, having left it behind so long ago at this point.
I would imagine so. The only other way,
There it
there it
is!
is. Go mode for Starx at 116.
That is that cane.
I do
Here
wonder
we
how he's feeling though.
Oh, that's a tough one, because he's been all over the place. Dipped Meyer, dipped Desert.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the Meyer dip, like going in there not finding it. I think that one's probably the one that's going to weigh biggest on him right now. But then the positive side is, he stayed out of Ice Palace entirely. So there's good and bad weights there to consider.
I do hope for Starix's sake that he does manage to find silvers or the last sword on his way, because Master Sword Ganon, while Master Sword Silverless Ganon, while he can do it, is never exactly what anybody would call fun.
Right, yeah. And he also doesn't have the half magic from Smith Chain, so
No, and
with the
he's never
cape and
getting that.
stuff. Nope, he's not.
He's
That said, he does have 3 bottles and plenty of cash, so it's a quick flute over to two to grab some potions.
Oh yeah, he will absolutely go potion shopping, I expect. But since he's not getting tempered from ice, he's definitely not getting double magic from hammer pegs or half magic. It should be interesting to see.
I wonder if I would have gone to Turtle Rock first, just so I could have boots for Meyer. I mean, it's not like it's much of a time save, but like this long bridge, for example, just like
On the other hand, reclimbing the
a
mountain.
second mountain climb. Yeah, it's not worth.
Not so much a second, yeah, that would be a third, because he's already been up there once for Hera and the overworld text. Yeah, Starx does have a good couple minutes on Vinter here, but if he has some trouble on Master Sword Silverless Ganon, if it comes to that, that might bring it back.
Well, I mean, it depends on how fast Vinter gets to the back of Thieves. Like, I mean, I would say he does that before Eastern Palace Big Key Chest, but like,
He
there's
has
still.
to.
I mean, he's still probably gonna go check into Desert. He hasn't done Desert yet, and
No.
so there's still a lot that Vinter could go do before finding that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I don't. Did Vinter check Spike Cave?
Um, I I don't think so. So that's another outstanding check.
It might be on his mind. It's a long way up the mountain, but it is a check that exists.
Okay, so he didn't check Desert. Oh, he also skipped Left Side Swamp.
He did, and Pyramid Fairy too, I forgot.
Oh, Pyramid
He's not
Ledge.
just,
Yeah, you're right.
he's backtracking for these checks he abandoned a long time ago as he gets some bombs off Hitty. Pretty good fight for Starx.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just like if you're noticing the difference here, their execution has been pretty much equal to on par for pretty much all of this stuff, right? They've both been extremely good at doing everything that they've done. The main differences are one, Ice Palace, of course, and two, the efficiency that Stahix has demonstrated today. He's just been consistently very efficient, very thorough with all his checks, whereas Vinter has made lots of skips and they mostly paid off, but until, he's now backtracking on these. And at the point at which you start backtracking on your skips, that's when you start to really lose that time.
Yeah, because he had some early advantages due to skipping an assortment of out-of-the-way checks like Eastern Big Key Chest and Left Side Swamp. But now they're starting to come back to bite.
Yeah.
Because Left
And
Side Swamp
what
is slow.
exactly, especially coming back to it, you have to redo the portal and drain the thing, and it takes a long time. But like, like for him, it's like he's made so many skips that like, which one do you decide to go back to, right? Like, they're all kind of like there's back of TT, there's left side swamp, there's big key chest of Eastern, like I mean, back of Thieves Town is the most dense, so I would have imagined he would have done that first, but
Maybe he thinks that's the obvious play and he wants to do the not so obvious play, perhaps?
maybe, yeah. And there's reasons behind everything, right? Like this could be something like, oh, I think my opponent would definitely have done this already. I need to go check this. It could be like covering his 1v1 tracks, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because he knows as well that it is entirely possible that Starx could have skipped that left side swamp earlier. And
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
knows there are two items here. I believe they did find both the map and compass in here previously.
Yep.
It was
Yeah,
the big key
it's
and something I completely forgot on left side.
yeah. Uselessness. Yeah.
Should us the
All
most of
right.
our dungeons being barren.
Yep. Yeah, I think Swamp Palace was the only like crystal dungeon that really had anything.
Pretty much. Then Ice had tempered and Thieves had Cane.
And these had cane. Yep.
I think it genuinely says like that out besides Swamp, the most notable thing we found in a crystal dungeon was the bug net.
Was the bug net. And we will be finding boots here in Turtle Rock, so there is that. But
There is that.
that doesn't count because that was spoiled by the uncles. So
Yeah, we've known that since they started the seed. Using hookshot iframes to get through this
I
room a
can
little
never
faster.
get that.
They do get a little finicky. 2 keys.
Was that 3 small keys in TR front? That's crazy. I don't
Yep.
think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, 3 keys immediately.
Well, you can still skip Mimic Cave here. I don't know. It depends. I think if Starhinks doesn't find a sword, he might still check it. But
So, yeah, because it Master Sword Silverless, he can do it, doesn't mean he wants to. I absolutely look for the boots at minimum.
Oh man, yeah, of course. Yeah, I would say like the longer it takes for Vinter to put off, Thieves Town, and finding that Samaria, the obviously the more difficult it's going to be. Um, Even if, let's say, Stahix does not find another sword or silvers, the advantage that Vinter has now with that tempered sword, it could have been if he had gone like straight to Thieves Town. This looks like what, Pyramid Ledge?
Pyramid Ledge. But this could have been very close if Vinter had gone to Thieves just a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Like if he had gone to Back of Thieves right after finishing Ice Palace and checking the green pendant, I think it would be a really, really close one.
It would. Starx is going to go all the way to Lava Chest here, hoping for an item that is not $50.
I think you're hoping specifically for the boots, even, but but yeah,
Boots,
that's
sword, or silvers, yeah.
$50, definitely not.
Even half magic would have been appreciated for Starx,
Right.
so we know it's not where that is.
Yeah, he didn't actually go by potions, so I'm trying to remember what he has in his bottles right now. I think there might be a red potion.
I don't think he ever used it. I remember that Vinter used his on Mothula earlier.
Right. But he did use the fairy that he got from Zora Ledge. So
The
I think
last
it's just
one
two
was
empties.
C-shaped house. I don't remember what that was.
Okay. All right, this looks like Back at Thieves for Vinter. Besides the Eastern Palace Big Key chest, which, he may have honestly miscounted as well. Like, it might not have been a genuine skill. This might be his little last location.
It might be. It came out the okay with the Village Fatcast bottle, thank you, holy smoke, and Starx decided he does not feel like detouring the Mimic Cave. I don't blame him.
Wait, so he skipped Mimic Cave and Big Chest.
He got Big Chest, that was the map.
Oh, okay, you got the Big Chest, got it.
That's why he went out onto the bridge.
Gotcha. Yeah, I missed that. I was watching Vinter and Thieves Town.
They definitely not.
Holy smoke.
they can always get blue from pet, right? I mean, in theory, yes. In practice, I hope not.
That nice free potion, right? Yeah. And it would only require going into Turtle Rock, getting the boots first to go beat Desert. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. As well
Required
as going
go
through
mode.
ice. There's the boots.
There's the boots. And a small key. Yeah, I would definitely check these extra ones as well, just in case you find a sword or silvers.
You're here already.
Yeah.
I think it's too much to risk not having it. And sadly, just a red rupee.
Gonna go ahead and take the safety door here, which I think is a very good decision, with no half magic, Master Sword. Trinex can... Those fire and ice heads can get real dodgy sometimes.
You can, and it's better this than to run all the way back.
Yeah,
if you're already at the bottom of Laser Bridge, it's only a few extra seconds versus a good minute or two running all the way back through. That's a pretty major time loss if it happens.
Nice Samaria dash setup there.
Yep. And there, speaking of the Samaria, there it is for Vinter.
All right, go mode for Vinter at 127.20. I can't remember what time I said for Stahix's, but I mean, that's almost a full Mire and Turtle Rock difference right now.
Effectively getting the cane as Starx arrives on Trinex.
Yep.
Pretty nice firehead for Starx.
So, I mean, even with the difference in swords, this is definitely still Stahix's race to lose here. And, especially so if there is a sword or silvers on that big key hunt in GT. And he's also got to be a little careful here with Trinex, but I think he's doing just fine there.
Yeah, did manage to get the ice head. Was a little dicey, but did get it.
Yeah. And with blue mail, he's definitely safe. He could take a couple hits and still be fine. Actually, I think just one hit, but down it
Hey,
goes. Don't even have to worry about it. No hits at all.
good. And Trinix
And
giving us a bit of love.
all
It
right,
does say
that
something
is.
about Seed that they have 12 and 13 hearts each.
I
Fairly
was gonna
thorough
say the same
players.
thing. Considering all the checks they've done and still being only at 12 or 13 hearts, like wow. But yeah, that's 7 crystals for Starx. Star, did you want to explain what all those numbers in chat are?
Yep, so there are 22 checks in the basement of GT, 21 chests, and 1 George. Please get a number in really, really fast as to which one of those 22 has it.
Wow, that was auction style speed there.
I mean, we only have about 15 seconds.
Yeah, you had to say it before you opened GT. That was great.
There's really not much time. We sometimes do bets when the last dungeon is something that's not TR, but there's not enough time for a bet or a prediction when there's so little time.
Oh, and where do you think it'll be, Star? What's your guess?
I voted 17. Ice Armos.
17. Okay, let me put mine in before he checks the first one. I'm gonna go with 11.
Alright. And check number 1 is a red rupee. Check number 2 is a small key, going to head right.
Very nice torch room there in GT by Starx. Meanwhile, Vinter is taking down Vidi with relative ease here, using the cape and half magic. I'll be a little careful with that half heart, but it's just arrows here, arrows away, and down it goes.
Yep. Hey, 5 through 7. 5 is the big. No,
Wow.
3 through 7. I can't count. 3 is the big key. 4 is the Verna. 5 is the Bloomerang, and 6 is the bombs. I really can't count. Lol.
Now he's just got to get at least that key.
Yeah, then he's gonna head on up. Knows there is no time to spare. Going to open the chest on the climb and get his butt up the tower.
Big key was number 3. Did anybody guess 3 today?
I don't believe anyone did.
No. Wow. Okay. 6, 8. 6 is the closest one. Nope, there's a 4. Forgotten Wolf. I think that's the closest we got to 3. So
that is.
all right. So Starx is on his way up GT, doing the climb with Master Sword and no silvers. I imagine he'll check the GT climb chests, hoping for one or the other or both. Meanwhile, Vinter is on his way to TR right now.
Does have tempered, which he's still a good few minutes behind. But well, don't fall off the bridge, Starx. That would help. Going to get some refills.
Yeah, this is a good call. And unfortunately, we did get that bug net from Pi, so he could catch a fairy here if he. Oh, never mind.
Doesn't want to. Probably will go potion shopping later. Starx said that for iframes. Okay, makes sense, I guess, on the fall for the bridge.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what how either of these players are with Master Sword Silverless Ganon. I think Star, you would know better.
I'm pretty sure Starx knows how to do it. I'm not 100% sure how comfortable he is with it, but he was in the main tournament last year, and I know he is capable of doing it. Still, it's gonna take a while, though.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, a much slower fight than, like, Tempered, but no matter how good you are at it.
Like, I fully expect Starx will go potion shopping later.
Yeah.
He does have 3 bottles. Very nice 1 cycle on Landmos.
Yeah, that was very nicely done. Oh, he hovered that mirror, and I was a little worried for a bit, but switch over to Samaria. So. Yeah, so it's really going to be a question of like if he goes to get potions and just the fact that Master Sword Silverless takes a long time, regardless of how well you do it. Um, versus, I don't think Vinter will need to go potion shopping because he has Tempered Sword and half magic. Um, so he won't need to go potion shopping, and the climb should theoretically be quicker as well.
Hmm.
In addition to the Ganon fight. So it might still be a pretty close race.
It could be. Master Sword Silverless is not easy.
It's not. It definitely is not.
We'll see the Million Helmosaurs here need the key anyway. Getting a heart piece, well, that's not helpful. And some running. Really not helpful.
Yeah, Master Sword Silverless Ganon with no bottles having anything in them and no half magic is a very, very challenging fight. Like,
Well, that's not a sword or a silvers, but that is at least a heart container. Could be
at
worse
least an
for
extra
Stephanie.
heart. Yeah. Actually, I think 13 hearts is pretty significant. I think you can get bodied by Ganon twice without dying.
Something like that, yeah. That addition, that one more than 12 does actually matter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, really? A mushroom? Thank you. Thank you. Final chest of GT is a mushroom.
Well, I guess the Hikes can turn that in when he goes to potion shopping.
I mean, that's true. He's gonna, if that's an extra sword, we're set.
Oh my goodness.
I almost want it to be a sword or silvers at this point, like just for the hilariousness of it.
I think
Was
that
that a
was a very
triple?
nice. I think that was a triple.
Wow, nicely done. And no, the wow,
Wow.
double triple. Well done. I wish my Aga cycles were like that.
Right.
And by I wish my Aga, I mean I wish I could do that because even with those lineups, I would not have done that.
It's harder than it looks. We do
Yeah.
like to even call it econometry. It is trickier than one would think. Vinter also opened the lava chest looking for those boots.
Yeah, if the boots happen to
Don't
be there, you don't
die.
want to miss it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Starx had an excellent GT.
Oh, so Dykes did not go potion shopping at all. He's just dropping straight down. Gonna go ahead and just do this.
He's
It's
going
12
for it.
spins. 12 spins to get through phase 1, 12 spins to get through phase 2, and then your standard phase 3, but then phase 4 is 24 Master Sword spins to take down the pig. So
Taking a hit already.
and yeah, like we said, I think he does have maybe a red potion, so health is probably not going to be too much of an issue here. It's the patience and the magic is have Vinter slashing at the boots there.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
oh
doesn't
no!
manage
Just
to use
before
the red
using it,
potion in time. Yeah, they have blue mail, but that only goes so far right now for these guys. And right back he goes.
going right back in. Now Ganon did have some nice setup last time, but every time you drop down into the Ganon hole, something different can happen. So we'll see what it's like this time. I think that's 7 hits so far. 8, 9, 10, 11. One more, I think. Oh, can you keep him up there? Oh, was that 12? That was 12. Okay, good, good. Nice setup. Very nicely done by Starx there.
Yeah, Trinex's going down for Vinter.
Oh, careful! Potion! That's a really annoying spot for Ganon to be during this phase, especially for Master Sword. All right, that is crystal number 7 for Vinter at 138.35-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looks like we got to phase 3, so doing really well. Oops.
Did you find the arrows in my tower? No, we did not. I am
Oh,
not surprised they were
man.
there.
Yeah, I mean, between the two runners, we checked almost everything.
We
I mean, they
did.
theoretically could have been on blind, I guess.
Blind or desert are about the only other places, yeah, or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Kings too.
Yeah, mushroom. It could have been mushroom. That's true.
It could have been the shroom.
Oh gosh, I lost count. Oh no, how many is he at?
I have no idea. Vinter is in the Dark Magician room and does not find silvers.
Okay, so they must have been further down the tower.
Yeah.
Looks like Starx is doing the triples here. Very nice. He's got to be careful though. Maybe switch the lamp.
Maybe, because he's out of magic now.
He's out of magic. If this isn't enough to get him. Oh no. Oh no, that's it. Oh no.
Oh no, he missed the one spin and he doesn't have magic.
Oh, this is starting to get close, you guys. Oh my gosh. Because Vinter, meanwhile, has found the big key and is doing the climb as we speak.
Oh man, that sucks for Starx. And he was so close.
He was
too,
so
just-
close. I lost count, but I think he was in the 20s. So I don't know if it was 1 or 2 more needed, but it couldn't have been much more than.
If he risked the last of his magic there, that had to have been his final set of cycles.
It had to have been, yeah. But he's got 2 more blues now. He's ready to go full magic. He was at 23. Oh, he needed 1 more. Oh my gosh.
That hurts.
Yeah, it does. Okay, but he's heading back, and now he's got 2 full blue potions. I think this is fine for him here, but it is close.
So, because I don't think he can afford another. I don't think he can afford another trip to the potion shop at this point. Vinter's so close.
Yeah, no, this has to be it. I think. Like, I mean, Master Sword Silverless fight on Ganon takes what, 4 minutes?
Something like that, yeah. Because Starx was very, very close on that last trip.
And
last
yeah,
play.
and Vinter is already at land mode 2, which is what he's about 4 minutes away. So, or less to get into Ganon.
Yeah.
I think he'll be in Ganon at the same time. I just don't know how far along they'll both be.
I don't know. It really depends on how well Starx does in this try. Like, he might have one early. Like, he might be able to fail once on an early phase, but a late phase fail like the last one would probably cost Starx here.
And I think he knows this. He's doing like the hookshot strategies there with swinging his sword spins.
It's an hour 43 into an Ambrosia scene. You have to know your opponent's gotta be close.
Absolutely. He's got 2 blues this time, so oh.
Need to take one right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would just bust out the cape a little bit first, use some of that magic, you know?
Now he's gonna do that.
There we go.
Yeah, because if you're gonna have the blue potion for the magic refill, might as well make use of it.
Hopefully he gets the torch glitch, because he only bought 2 blues. I'm gonna have to use this blue here. Meanwhile, Vinter is on Trolldorm 2. You know, the difference here, like, if Vinter had not done Left Side Swamp before Thieves Town...
That might have been it. Okay, Starx does get that torch glitch. Thank you. Using the last of this magic bar to get at least one torch lighting. Yeah. Good.
I'd say you use the lamp here. Oh, not even enough for a lamp. Okay.
Okay, jeez.
Might still want to use a lamp for a couple of these just to make sure you don't run out again.
Yeah, I think he knows he really can't afford another fail at this point.
Because I think without half magic, you have to hit all triples.
Something like that, yeah. And this is make it or break it for Starx as far as his current record too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like he's 3-2 right now. If he goes 3, like losing this would put him in a really poor position for moving on. Versus a fourth win would put him in a really good position.
Absolutely. All right, he did get to do what 2 full cycles with lamp, so he should be fine at this point. Meanwhile, Vinter is in the Ganon fight as well, but with the Tempered Sword, if he can get this 1-in-1, he's going to catch up real quick. Now, he doesn't have silvers, so, you know, he still has to do 12 spins for the end, and I think that might be all that Starx has left, so... Oh, this is nerve-wracking. I do not know what kind of potions... Oh, does he have a fairy?
I don't think so.
He does. He does, okay.
Oh, wait, no, Vinter does, yeah.
Phew. Yeah, Vinter. Yeah, he took a death there.
Because it's still close.
It's still close. I mean, he's in phase 3, but I think Starx is almost done.
I think he is.
Yeah, this has got to be it. There it is.
There we are.
Okay, do not fall off this bridge.
Please. Don't do that, Starx.
But everybody, you can get your GGs in chat. Get your GGs in chat for Starx showing us how to do Master Sword, Silverless Ganon, and finishing with a time of 1:46.54. It was so close. Despite everything that happened, that Tempered Sword, Master Sword difference. We're watching Vinter finish up Ganon. He should be done with Ganon here pretty soon as well. You can see the difference between the Tempered Sword and the Master Sword. But well done to Starx here. That's his 4-2, right? GG.
That is 4-2. Which means that at worst he will be stuck in a 3-way tiebreaker for first and second. Depending on how the rest of this group shakes out. What a race!
What a race, indeed. Like, I mean, the skips were paying off for Vinter early on, but then, you know, having to backtrack them really cost a lot of time. But there it is. Down goes Ganon for Vinter as well. Get your GGs in chat for him. All he's got to do is cross this bridge successfully, and he will be finishing with a 1:47.57.
Yeah, official race time was 1:47.58, just a minute and 4 seconds behind.
Wow.
How close this race is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, and just a reminder that last time Vinter beat Starix by 3 seconds. So these runners are just neck and neck on every single race, it seems.
Very well matched. GG's them both. So I will be bringing Stachix in for here for an interview. It is about midnight for our German friend Vinter, so he has elected to not join us. I don't blame him, but we wish him luck on his remaining group matches.
Yeah, and we mentioned, this puts Starix at 4-2, which is a pretty good position. But for Vinter, it is far from over. He's going to be at 2-1 now, so he's still got 3 more races to go. Plenty of time to secure some wins. So if you're big fans of Vinter, he's definitely got plenty left to do.
Oh, absolutely. And GG?
Hey, GG. GG.
GG, Starix.
So relieved. I, I honestly can't believe I still won with that 3 Ganon fights. That was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no kidding.
For us
We
too.
were we're like, you were so close to one spin. One
Yeah,
spin there.
a single spin missing on that second one because I used my a little too much for that torch glitch. Got a little trigger happy and just ended up missing it by that much.
Yeah.
So, Starix, how do you feel about this seed?
The scene was pretty good, to be honest. The only
Hmm.
real trolley item was the Samaria in the maiden chest, but other than that, uh, pretty much everything was just falling on my lap time after time again.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
worked out pretty well. So we had an interesting case throughout the race. You were more thorough than Vinter was mostly. He skipped a variety of things, most notably Left Side Swamp, the Eastern Big Key Chest, various other loose ends. One early difference was he went straight to Eastern after the Kakariko area, so had to double dupe the Eastern Pod area. You did that all in one trip. So he did end up later having to backtrack for various things. His One of his final plays was to do Meyer, then go into the then go back to Left Side Swamp before going to Thieves, and if he hadn't, that might have done it. Was pretty
Yeah,
close there.
yeah, and
yeah,
actually, oh, go ahead.
yeah. My early play as to why I didn't want to go into Eastern straight after the village is that I knew I had to do the South anyway, and I
Hmm.
pretty much hoped that exactly what happened was going to happen, that I would find my Darkhold access down south and could
Hmm.
possibly just go through and do pod and Eastern all in one go. So that was pretty
Yeah,
fortunate that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and it
yeah,
seems your intuition paid off there.
for sure. You did that. You also did pyramid ledge along the way when the other loose ends that Venter had to backtrack for eventually. Um, you guys are in pot at about the same time. One other big thing, Stellix, is that Vinter did do Smith Chain and Ice Palace, where you skipped both. Hammer Pegs had your double magic, Ice Palace Pengator was your tempered.
Both of those
Yes.
would have helped.
Right. So they were
Seriously.
they were costly, in terms of time required to do them, but they also helped in terms of, your items to be able to speed up your everything else, right? So
Yeah, and honestly, of course, I was not expecting that bad of Ganon fight. So normally, I, I was a bit cocky, let's say, going in with no safeties at all. Normally, I would have gone and got at least a blue or a green potion to make sure I wouldn't need more magic. That would have helped. But yeah, at that point, when I found Samaria, for me, there was no reason to just to go around trying to find either tempered or silvers. It was just I need to go now because it was already what 115-ish, 120. So it was getting late for an ambrosia seed.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And we never saw where the other sword was, so we don't know if there was another sword in GT or in Desert or where. So but I mean, I think one of the biggest things that, contributed to your win today was your efficiency. Doing the pot Eastern, like if you think about it, like that saves about a minute right there. You know what I mean? But it was not just that. Like there were so many other things that you did that were just very efficient. You went through it very nice and meticulously. Um, and I think, Vinter did save some time on his skips, but your efficiency gave you enough of a lead to where you can get to 23 spins on phase 4 of Ganon, fall, go buy potions, and come back and do it again. Um,
And
you know
still
what I
pull
mean?
out a win.
With a
Exactly.
minute to spare. Yeah.
Exactly.
Honestly, that's how I like to play. Being thorough that way makes it that sometimes when it's a jet seed, it's gonna cost me really uh, when I do make some detours to get so like Zora area pyramid ledge, or when I go do some overworld on jet seeds, it's gonna cost me. Most of the time when there's like one or two items missing, that will most of the time help me because I won't have to go back and do those isolated checks.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. And that's exactly what happened today too. It was that one item that was missing, that cane of Samaria, and that cost, Vinter to go back looking for those things and retracing his steps. And that ended up costing a lot of time for him because he was not efficient. He made those skips, early on. Uh, so well done. GG's to you both, though. You both demonstrated incredible execution and just, and Vinter displayed a lot of really good efficient checks. Like his skips were definitely intentional. It wasn't like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like he, like because later on he did like a really clever um Smith chain mixed in with like checking into the front four of thieves, mixed in with like activating the flute. It was like it was really clean. So I'm not trying to say like Vinter, was like didn't know how to do it or anything. Like it was just he chose to make some skips.
It's
And that
different
ended up
play styles. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, the group overall is pretty strong. Like I went 1-1 against both Vinter and Maya, so it's gonna be a tight group overall to get out of. So I'm just happy I managed to win today and put myself in a pretty good position. As I said in the race room before the race, being 4-2, the worst and the best that can happen to me now is a three-way tie for first, which would could either give me another chance to snag first place in the group and have a better seed for brackets, or it could throw me off completely and make me third and drop out of the tourney. So uh,
Yeah. So
I'm
it's still not completely over for you yet, right? Depending on if that happens.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to the both matches between Maya and Winters. Those are gonna be huge for both for them and for me.
I am excited
Yeah.
about those as well. I don't know if you know this or not, but last year Challenge Cup, I had Maya Nico in my group, so I am familiar with her, and she's a good player. So it'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be a good one to check out. I'm looking forward to see the how the end of this group shakes out. Very much not decided, but 4-2 definitely puts you in a good position. I know you really didn't want to lose this race, Alex.
No, that was not an option because 3-3, I was pretty much, for all intents and purposes, I was out of the tourney. There was a very slim chance where I could have finished second, but that would have taken almost a miracle for me to get out of that group on 3-3.
Yeah. And now, GG's. Congratulations on the win. We'll see how this group goes and who will move on out of it. Any last thoughts, Smirk, before I take us out?
Just another thank you to you, Star, for running this restream and also commentating and getting this set up and put together for everyone to enjoy. Thank you to you, Stahix, for allowing yourself to be restreamed. Thank you to Vinter as well. Both of you were very entertaining to watch. You've put on a great show for us today. I learned a lot from watching you both, and I imagine chat enjoyed it as well. Just big thanks to everybody, and thanks to H. Tom Servo for keeping us in check with the tracker. And yeah, that's it for me.
Yep. So let's give our two runners here a follow. Thank you to Starx433 and to Vinter, as well as to my co-com Smirk JD and to our tracker, H. Tom Silvo. Give them all a follow. This was a fantastic race. Couldn't have put on the restream without you all. As well as to thanks to everyone in chat for watching this race. This will be it for us here on ZSR for the day. We have another tomorrow. We will have another Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup match, Group AB between Adalor and Tenet. That will be here on ZSR Main at 7:10 Eastern. Over the weekend, we will have our regular weekly races. We will have a Skyward Sword Randomizer co-op tournament match, and I will also be looking to put a couple more co-op matches, or not co-op, Challenge Cup matches up on the schedule as well. So keep an eye out for those, especially if you might be available to volunteer. But that shall be all for us. Thanks for watching, all. We will see you next time.